Well, hello everyone. It's the 18th of May 2020, and I hope you're all well and staying safe. You join me for a very different kind of neighbourhood safety meeting. For a start, I'm in my garden, which isn't normal, is it? I'm going to talk to you a bit about bike safety, and I even have props, as you can see. The lockdown is still very apparent and important, but the government has relaxed how much we can exercise, which means people are more active and out on their bikes. And for that reason, I'm going to talk a little bit about bike maintenance and things that you should probably take on with you when you're on a bike ride. That be with you and your family, or if you're on your going by yourself. This video is being recorded on an iPhone, so it's not going to win any Spielberg awards, I'm afraid. You may need to turn up the sound, and it's a bit dull, the picture, because in the blaring sun it's a bit too bright. So we're working with what we've got, which is probably the whole tag for the whole lockdown itself. So you've got a bike, it needs looking at before you ride for safety. The first thing you should do before any bike ride is look for your helmet. So just get this out of the way. Helmet on, tighten, underneath, secure. That's not going anywhere. But this, when you see people on a bike and it's like this or like this, that is not going to do anything if you fall off your bike. And adults should wear helmets as well as their children. I see children on their bike where their adults are not wearing them, which is just, it baffles me. Helmets are very important. Without a helmet, you should not ride. Okay, so this is my bike. It's 2009. It's pretty old, only as old as me. But it still works fine because it gets maintained and it's looked after by me. The stand is great to help maintenance. It was 30 quid from Lidl, so it's cheap, it's not too expensive. I have lights on here. I run them day or night if I ride because it helps people see you, which is the most important thing. And I have a front one and a back one. So depending on when you're riding, so if you're riding the night or riding the day, you should probably wear the correct attire for your ride. If it's darker, then wear something fluorescent, and if it's going to rain, then you know you have to prepare for that as well. Another really important thing on bikes, because there's so many bikes out now, is a bell, and that is because you should make pedestrians aware when you're coming near them. Because there's so many people out now walking, you need to make them aware where you are so they don't suddenly dart out and you crash into them. So that's really important as well. So I'm going to talk to you now a bit about bike maintenance before a ride. Things to check over on your bike before you go out on a ride. That's all the bikes in your family before you go out on a ride. The first one are brakes. So this bike has disc brakes and other bikes have rim brakes, which will sit up here. Check they work, pull the levers, see if they've got, don't go too far back. If they go too far back, then you know there might be a problem. Regarding disc brakes and rim brakes, never use a spray lubricant like this on your chain and fire it towards your brake, because it will ruin your brakes and then you will not be able to stop, and that is really important. When you do oil change, which is another thing you should check before you go out on a bike ride, always do it from the bottom and drip it on, and have a rag underneath to stop it dripping everywhere, and that will really help. Tyre pressure, always check your tyres before you go out. I've got a pump like this, and it's got a gauge on it, and I can look at what pressure they should be. If you're not too sure what pressure your tyre should be, always look at the pressure gauge, which you'll have written on the side. Check both front and back tyres. Another thing with your reels is check your quick release. Check they're tight, check they're not loose, check you wobble them, check it's safe, check it's not come on loose. Another point is check your headset. Check it when it's on the ground, check it's not wobbling, hasn't got any play in it. Again, this can be tightened up. Check the wheels spin freely, there's nothing in the spokes, and wobbled, nothing's changed since you last ridden it. Another thing to check is check your pedals. Check they're on securely, and the crank, which is this dot here. And check your chain as well. Just check everything's running freely, which is what you want. And if you're not confident in fixing any of that, then you should take your bike to a bike shop and get properly looked after. I look at most of those things before I go on a ride, because at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to see how secure your bike is when you're riding it and how safe you are. Another thing is check the saddles tight. Check everything like quick release on the saddles are right as well. Okay, so that's the bike covered. That's the bike safety covered on what you should do before you go out and over a ride. Now I'm going to talk about, and this is no in particular order, really what you should be taking with you when you go on a bike ride. So that's if you are going on a bike ride, let's say 30 miles, 15 miles, and it all depends how long you're going on a bike ride for, but most people go on like ones that are 15 miles long. And especially in lockdown, you have to think to yourself, well, what would I need if I was to break down the bike? Say the chain was to snap, or part of the bike, irreplaceable part that you couldn't fix on the roadside was to break. So the first thing that I would carry, so I carry a rucksack and put my stuff in here if I go on a long ride. Some people have a little saddle pouch which would sit underneath here, which you keep things in. It depends on your bike. So this is a mountain bike, and a lot of people have road bikes as well, or all-rounder bike, and it depends what bike setup you have, and it'll just what you take. But necessities, I would say, are first thing is a puncture repair kit. That is to repair a puncture in the tyre, in a tube rather, should you get a puncture. And it's best to learn how to fix this puncture on your bike before you actually ride. So you could do a sort of dry run to see how you cope with fixing it, because some of them are really difficult to change, and it's best practice makes perfect, as they say. So again, that's important. Next, on a long ride, I would say energy. So you're going to go on a long ride, you need to replenish the energy you're losing. So anything from like a, yep, I've even got it, banana, flapjack, or an energy bar, whatever really you're used to, and it gives you the energy you need. Another great thing to take, credit card, because if the worst is to happen, your bike completely breaks and you need to get home, we need food or anything like that, you can pay for it on the credit card. You know, if you have to get a train home, or the trains are running, you might need it. Next is a multi-tool. Now this can be used for anything. Fixing, tightening, cutting off, anything that needs doing that you wouldn't be able to have on your roadside. Just take it with you, and it can fix like Allen key bolts, anything like that. Another great thing. Water bottle. Always full of water, always carry it. Don't mind goes in there. Fill it with water, or fill it with maybe electrolyte drink to replace the salts that you're losing through hard exercise. Next, spare inner tube. So if you were to get a really bad puncture, like almost like a slice, and it was unrepairable from the puncture repair kit, you would need one of these, which is a spare inner tube. Again, learn how to change this when you're at home, so you know how to do it quickly. If you have to do it in the dusk or dark or under rainy conditions, you're going to really wish you had learned how to do it. So with inner tube, you need air to pump out. So this is a small pump. It's got a pressure gauge on it as well. You need that as well. That's important. So regarding removing the tyre, should you have to replace the tyre, is tyre levers. These are levers that you pull out. Again, all this stuff's really inexpensive. Find it out, there you go. Goes in here, pop it on, helps you get the tyre out. They are vital. Without them, you won't be able to get the tyre off. Okay, other important thing is carry identification. So your driving license or identification somehow. The best way, I think, is an up-to-date way, is from your iPhone. So your iPhone can carry identification, which can tell you all the different stats about you, whether you have medical condition or any information like that, and you can go and edit that on your iPhone if you don't really know about it. Go to your iPhone, go into settings, go into health, look at a medical ID, edit that data for you, and then save. And once you've saved it, it'll be in there. And if you should see anyone who's in trouble, who's collapsed or has an iPhone on them, and you think, I need to help this person, but they're not able to breathe and not speaking, take their iPhone, whether it's lock screen or not, tap the side power button 5 times, and it will bring up a screen to show the medical ID and also enable you to call the emergency service as SOS should you need that. And lastly, always take your mobile with you, because you may need to call assistance. You may need to call half or family member to say, I need assistance, I need you to come and help me. Because bikes easily can break and you might need assistance. And also you can watch a YouTube video in order to watch how to fix your bike on the roadside should you not know how to fix something, and that would be really, really useful. They're sort of my top tips regarding the bike. I think, you know, safety is massively important with push bikes, and yeah, I had a friend who was wearing a helmet when they were knocked off their bike, and they were rescued by the Kent Air Ambulance, which I helped raise money for last year. And had he not been wearing a helmet, he wouldn't be here right now. And he does have a few difficulties after from wearing a helmet, but you know, without it he would have not been here. So even if you do a short journey to shops, anything on a bike, helmet is absolutely vital. This without this doesn't work. So yeah, I hope you've learned something from this, and maybe take it away and share it with friends and family. And I'm going to open up the discussion for you now, and maybe have a chat with a Zoom call and see what we'd like to talk about this. You know, you might have tips and tricks to talk to people about, and any questions, just ask me basically on the chat. So just please stay safe on your 2 wheels, and hope to see you all again very soon. And missing you all are missed. And take care. Cheers.